Like when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
Wow.
Man,
Obviously, Chris Rock's
somebody
face
needs to
was a
sample
drum.
that. Yeah, Chris Rock's face. I want to sample that. Use that in the track.
This is the Music and Them podcast.
You know what it is.
I am your host, along with the other hosts of this podcast, and my name is Darius. My tag name on Instagram is Legendarius51.
Yes.
We have Sam God. We have Damani Rhodes,
Yes.
founder of the DrumTrax app. Go download the DrumTrax app.
You know what to do.
Now.
Immediately.
Go do it.
And while you're there, you might as well sign up for a free trial to DrumTrax Premium, especially if you're trying to take your drumming to the next level. For everyone who is out here trying to grow as a drummer, get better, we have a ton of courses, lessons on there, and all of the drumless tracks. Now, if you just want to stream tracks because you're like, hey, I'm cool on the lessons, I just want to stream the tracks, well, listen, we have a DrumTrax streaming subscription, and you can get access to that as well with a free trial as well. Links are in the description. You know what to do.
Hey, go handle it. Today, we're going to be talking about drums and how everything, and I do mean everything, is a drum.
Is it now?
It is.
Everything is a drum.
Everything is a drum.
So are you a drum? Can I beat you up? I got
First and
sticks over
foremost,
here.
pause, okay? Secondly,
I've heard some smacks.
I'm uncomfortable.
I've heard some smacks. Like when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
Wow.
Man,
Obviously, Chris Rock's
somebody
face
needs to
was a drum.
sample that.
yeah, Chris Rock's face. I want to sample that. Use that in the track.
I wonder if you think somebody's going to take that image and sell it as an NFT?
That would be
Who would
hard.
own the rights to that, though?
The Oscars?
I mean, it have to be the Oscars.
Whoever
Like,
filmed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's banned
man.
from the Oscars for 10 years.
But yeah, I mean, Chris Rock's face is a drum. People.
Yeah, obviously.
Somebody sample it.
Somebody sampled it. Jesus Christ.
You're, the table in the cafeteria is a drum. You know,
That's
Come
traditional.
on.
It's always been a drum.
Yeah.
Everything.
But like your legs, I see sometimes if a drummer's sitting there and they might just like.
tapping on it, making beats on their leg. Yep.
Yeah. All-
100%.
but more
everything.
importantly, all instruments are drums, and that's kind of the point to me is that
Yes.
every player, no matter if you're a drummer or not, needs to have the approach of a drummer in a lot of ways because the rhythmic aspect is so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
If all your 16th notes aren't lining up the right way, it just clashes.
And this is how instruments that are not drums find themselves out of the pocket, right?
Exactly.
If you're focused just on the melodic side, but your rhythm is off, rhythm is extremely important. Like, I feel like it's understated and it gets assigned to just drummers, right?
Right.
But it's like, it's not just drummers at the end of the day, bro. Like, if you're playing guitar, well, you're a part of actually, like, I think we've mentioned this before. The majority of the instruments that people play are a part of the rhythm section. So, like, the drums are not the only instrument in the rhythm section. You have the piano. It's a rhythm section instrument. Guitar, a rhythm section instrument. Like the bass, a rhythm section
They're all
instrument.
percussive. They're all created by a percussive
Yes.
effect.
Correct. All
the
the
hammers
sounds.
hitting the piano strings,
Yep.
or your fingers hitting the strings.
Correct. These
Well,
are
even in Hendrix, famously, the drummer was not the timekeeper. The bass player was the timekeeper.
man.
So
and that's in swing. When people are swinging, it's said that the bass is the timekeeper in that situation.
Yes.
But this is where I go back to where I feel like everybody needs to be able to keep time.
Right.
Because it's just like,
because it's the rhythm section.
yeah. And if everyone in the
Section.
rhythm section is just dependent on one, no, you become one organism. Everyone has to have good time so that the rhythm section carries that rhythm and provides that foundation. And so I think it's you're right, man, to an extent. Everything is a drum. And if you approach things like a drummer, even if you don't play drums, your playing will be better. Because it's like, you could play a lot of notes, right? Or you can play few notes, but what's the rhythm you're playing those notes?
Right.
Or whatever part that you're playing, is it fitting rhythmically with the vibe? So I would suggest, even with other instruments and including drummers, especially when you're trying to work on your improv, you're working on your solo, and you're working on whatever it is you're working on, to change it up, to change your sound, like play with the rhythm, play with the time.
Play around with the rhythm more, because even horns are a drum too. I mean, I'm not even just talking about rhythm section.
Okay.
It's like because we're all playing rhythms, and a lot of times people get too stuck on thinking of the notes, and then you might have a soloist that's just playing a bunch of 16th notes, but they're not varying it up, you know?
Right.
And when you start interplaying with the drummer, then you're going to start playing off of his rhythms and playing more interesting rhythms.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the everything is a drum comes in, because it's like we're all in a drum circle in a way. You know, sometimes I picture it like that, like we're all just sitting around in a circle playing djembes, and it's like you know, we're like the way those rhythms interplay makes the music interesting, and of course the notes are interweaving too.
Absolutely.
But the rhythms are just really a big part of what makes the music more dynamic and more interesting.
I mean, so, okay, because you don't play drums, right? You play bass, or you do play some drums. Let me take it back. You play a little bit of everything.
A little bit, yeah.
And how do you go about approaching the bass, or approaching the keys of the organ, or approaching the guitar like a drummer?
Well, a big part of it is I listen to the drummer and I interact with the drummer, you know? Because like we were talking about before, the drums is such a big part of the music. It's the foundation, you know? And if you are playing with a dynamic and a good drummer, you know, he's going to be doing a lot of interesting things that you can pick up on. Yeah. And you can feed ideas back to him and other people in the band, obviously, you know, but the drums is the rhythmic center. It's the heart, you know? So I guess I just really listen a lot to what everyone's doing and let my rhythms interplay with them.
Got you.
So I'm not just sitting there like, you know, like a robot or something, you know? They're giving me ideas, and then that's sparking my ideas, and I'm feeding ideas back to them. And so there's this interplay going on, especially any kind of improvisational music or anything that's not just set in stone. Yeah. You know, that's going to make the music come to life.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You got to listen to all the parts, because if I'm playing bass, I'm listening to the kick pattern. Sometimes I'm hitting with the kick pattern. Sometimes I'll hit with the kick pattern. I was like, that makes no sense. I need to counter that kick pattern.
Right.
If I'm playing guitar, I'm like, all right, what's the groove? But what's the hi-hat doing? What's happening here? Like listening to all the different parts of even what the drums are doing, to inform how you're going to play.
Where do I fit in the pocket? Yeah. Like where is the space for me to complement rhythmically?
Correct.
And bass has a lot of power in the music to step the energy up. You know, I mean, you can get to a point in the music where you're like, something needs to happen right here. Yeah. You know, like we're almost stagnating. Yeah. And then I might switch up my rhythm and start just like playing like an eighth note pulse or something like that. And then all of a sudden everyone just kind of wakes up again, like, oh, there's a shift in the energy.
Right. Notes may not have changed, progression may not have changed, but the rhythm did. Yeah. And so you just start, I feel that. I can see that 100%. I've experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like anybody who's ever been in a real musical situation, whether you're at a gig in a club, a festival, well, typically festivals are like shows, you know exactly what's going to happen, or if you're in church where everything is improvised to an extent, like there's always that element of improvisation. There's always that space there. You got to be open to be able to move in that way. But I really like this concept because the idea of being a drummer, no, your instrument's like not literally a drum, except for there are people who do take their guitars and play the wood, or play the. I've seen people take the piano and do rhythmic things like a drum with it as well. But you start to think in terms of where you fit in the totality of the sound, with the drums being the foundation, rhythmic groove, or whatever, however you want to describe it. But then you find your place in and around it, which takes the drums from being the thing that just does what it's doing and doesn't change so that I can do whatever and be free, to now me as a melodic instrument. I'm actually respecting, paying attention, considering, and involving what is actually happening there and how I can contribute rhythmically as well. Because it's not just the drums that's the rhythmic foundation. It's every part, right, that has its place. And if you think about it rhythmically like that, I think it'd make it easier for you to play and collaborate with other people, with other musicians, versus just playing by yourself. So
you have to find your space. I remember many years ago when I was younger, I was listening to some Latin music, and I realized this is nothing but them filling up, in my head, this is just how I perceived it. This is a band filling up every 30-second note that there is throughout the music. But
everybody's not playing everything in the same space.
everybody's not playing it. It's just like this.
Right.
That like, and it gives it this bounce. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, finding your place. You got to find your place within the music. It's a breathing organism. It's not something, even when you write it down on paper, as soon as it starts to come out of the instruments, it becomes a living thing.
Alive for the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like Sam says, it's gone.
It's gone.
Once you're done. I mean, unless we record it and then we bring it back. You feel me? That's how we do it.
You can bring it back.
Or if you go to a black church or play at a black church like I do, and we always bring the song back.
Yeah, there's always a reprise, right?
Yeah. So
Always.
Maybe 3 or 4.
The whole thing is a reprise from last week.
It is what it is, man. So look, man, I actually think that's good, man. This podcast ain't got to be super long today, but yeah. Think of your instrument as a drum, and drummers, you definitely play a drum. So don't act like you're exempt from this conversation.
Everything's a drum, especially drums.
Especially drums. Like even your cymbals, they're a drum. Okay, just remember that. So, all right, fam, listen, we about to get out of here. It's been legendarious.
Straight up.
Sam God.
You know what it is.
And I'm your boy Demani, the founder of DrumTrax. We're gonna catch you guys on the next one. All right, family.
Musicology.
Till next time. Peace.
Music and them.
It's music and them, bro.
Oh,
It's music and them.
I haven't slept in weeks.
Fam, it's your boy Demani. I hope you enjoyed the video that you just watched, and I hope you liked the video. I hope you left a comment, and I wanted to invite you into DrumTrax Premium. We literally have over 350 drum lessons, over 250, over 300 by now, drumless tracks, a community in the private Facebook group of drummers that we go live with and do live drum coaching every single week. We want to help you find your voice and explore your creativity on the drums. We can do that with DrumTrax Premium. You can find the links in the description of this video, and if you're looking for more content, you can click one of the videos that are showing up on the screen right now and check them out. All right, fam? I look forward to seeing you in more videos, and I look forward to seeing you in DrumTrax Premium. All right, fam. Peace.